I want to go back to the beginnings of pro wrestling, not maybe the beginnings, but as far back as we can find on rick769.tripod.com. and I bring that up because good for Rick. This is an old web page, and it's the pro wrestling at Lanphier High School.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, it goes back to in the BOS Center to the early 80s, but not WWE, by the way. We'll figure out what that is as we get there. But no, there were 3 different big-ass wrestling promotions that ran that high school. Did you know that?
I didn't know 3 different ones. I knew back in the territory days, Macho Man, when he was just Randy Paffa at the time, was in there. Yeah.
ICW.
Back when he was playing baseball.
There you go. Yeah.
What's so wild about that is I moved here from Lexington. That's where ICW was based out of. Now, that Lexington's not close to here. It's 6 hours away. But back in the territory days, they were fighting and scraping. They were an outlaw promotion, meaning that they weren't officially a part of the NWA, not that NWA rap fans. They actually were officially a part of that. Didn't know that. Macho Man was Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Macho Man on that. The mixtapes, the early Find It, Call Me a Liar. They filmed out of a furniture store in Lexington, Kentucky, and that's where Macho met Miss Elizabeth. Macho himself would literally get in a car and drive the tape 6 hours to the TV stations here.
Is coming to your town, Combs, Kentucky, tonight, Saturday, April 5th at the A.V. Combs Elementary School, featuring Ginger, the 750-pound live wrestling bear. Some lucky fan will win a beautiful trophy if he or she is voted as being the best bear wrestler. Also,
in Springfield, and they would play on TV.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I knew my folks back when they were probably in their 20s used to talk about they'd go to wrestling at Lanphier High School. And they're, it was Macho Man, and I think they say Dick the Bruiser was in there. And
and it sounds like bullshit. Like, Macho Man was out there with Dick the Bruiser, and yes, he fucking at a high school.
What year was this?
This would have been in, this actually would have been in the 80s.
It's the early 80s.
Well, yeah, the early 70s to the early 80s. Now, Macho's promotion would have been in the early 80s, but throughout the 70s, you had AWA. Yeah, that was at that point maybe the biggest wrestling promotion at the time, and it was certainly up there because the Northeast Vince Senior was running that. It hadn't gone national yet.
That's not true. We have exhibition baseball, spring season and baseball are exhibition, and they go out there to win. And so that definition of a predetermined winner is a lot of baloney. It's not true.
So, it was at least maybe second to NWA.
I just picture him fighting Spider-Man in the Lanphier High School.
Your bone saws ready. I got you for 5 minutes. And WWE, Dick the Bruiser's territory, that was up out of Michigan. So here's some of the big stars at Lanphier. Now, we're not even talking about the BOS Center. Superstar Billy Graham. Harley Race, which makes sense because he's from St. Louis. Dick the Bruiser. A chubby rookie named Ric Flair, the Nature Boy himself back in the day. Randy Savage, Jesse the Body Ventura, Nick Bockwinkel. That's just insane.
That is pretty wild. Now, is this one of those promotions, the same crew that came out of St. Louis and did wrestling at the Chase?
So that would have been the NWA, and I'm not sure if, I guess this would have maybe been under the sanction of the NWA, but it's funny that you say out of St. Louis, because a couple of times some guys were advertised for the show, and they pulled the old dirty double cross, such as, let's see here, sometimes they would advertise, I don't have the names here, I'll make some up. The old Flap Man. The old
Flapper McGillicuddy.
Flapper McGillicuddy and the West Virginia Strangler were tag teaming.
I do believe I can recall my folks mentioning Andre the Giant.
That's right, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so they would advertise big names, and then they would say, oh, man, he couldn't make it, but you know who can? Kyle Fields. And then I'd come out and what the fuck? And then I'd get my ass beat. Yeah.
Andre clogged up a bathtub. So he said,
brother, swear to God, brother, you never... Hulk Hogan and his outlandish tall tales. Oh, it's fantastic.
I love the same strategy as the Barkers the comedian Barker's in fucking New York.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jerry Seinfeld might be here tonight.
Yeah,
Ooh, Chris Tucker's gonna be here for sure.
They do the same exact fucking thing. I mean, even as recently as, God bless him, he passed away, Virgil, WWF manager, wrestler extraordinaire. He would go to shows and he would always, his banner would say, Ted DiBiase with Virgil. And Ted was never there.